Next up for Howler for an hour is something exceptionally furry. This is Winds of Change. This is kind of a visual novel. Made by, I do believe, entirely by furries. I don't know Place. He's the one that made the story and game, is said down there. I believe Faye Varas I've heard of. I think I know who Chase is as well. Fox and Moore is definitely a good musician. I've heard of him. I don't know who Joel is. Yeah, it's true there is. But this looks really cool. So let's check it out. I'm very happy to have gotten a key for this. Again, I'm not huge on visual novels, but we've been finding a lot of good ones lately, so let's see. In the world of Alessia, where the spirits reign supreme.
The rebellion is in shambles.
Ooh.
With the recent loss of their leader, they are struggling.
Does my mouse appear?
But this defeat was not without a victory of its own. For in his final moments, he secured an artifact of great importance. This blade was paramount to the Triumvirate's leadership of Alestia. And without it, their tyrannical grip on the people would surely falter. Having no choice, they give their Grand Inquisitor one simple order. Destroy the rebellion and retrieve the lost blade of the Triumvirate. But Dormek, the new leader of the rebels, has set other plans in motion. Hiding the blade in Valinor, he is confident that it will be protected. This sheltered hamlet is now custodian to the weapon that would liberate the world. And so, it would be met with a gruesome fate by the Triumvirate and their Grand Inquisitor.
A lot of big words here. And the hamlet's on fire. This was inevitable, I suppose. Everything is burning. I can do little to stop it from spreading. An immense pain assaults my head, and I throw my face into my hands. The same question repeatedly plays in my mind. What am I doing here? I have no knowledge of what happened up until this point. My brain is struggling to fill in the blanks, not gaining any headway. It was almost like, until this exact moment, I never existed. Then why is it now that cognition has found me? Was there something I could do to put out these flames? Or perhaps was I the cause of this inferno to begin with? A foolish thought, and one I throw away. If I was responsible, then I wouldn't feel this sense of dread. Yeah, this is a slight bit of a trope beginning. I do have to say, good music, though. I kind of feel like I could totally hear this in a normal RPG, actually. Easily. An emotion shared by those who stand beside me.
Come on, pick up the pace. If we waste any more time, we won't make it out alive. There's no way the Elder would let me let that one down.
Okay. I feel like she's escorting me and I should follow her. Could it be that she's been tasked with my protection? I grasp at the straws that are the memories in my mind. I'm only able to latch onto one. It's the title that I go by.
Are you even paying attention?
I am the Seer.
I know who you are, Seer. Did you hit your head or something?
Yes. Probably. She scoffs as she turns the other way. But I know she's right. I'm not taking this seriously. It feels like a dream, and I doubt that it's all happening. A few moments later, a sudden sensation startles me. There's a firm grip on my shoulder. We aren't alone. Underneath a veil of fright, I turn to greet the second stranger.
Valessa has our safety in mind, okay? Forgive her hot-headedness for me. Freedom isn't too much farther.
Huh. You look like a Digimon.
We need to stay calm and think this through. Two guys like us, we should have no problem. We'll be safe and sound before you know it.
We weave through the houses and alleys to remain unseen. Does this have alleys? This is a forest hamlet. I don't know if this really has alley. Okay, whatever. Doing our best to be completely silent, we bring no attention to ourselves. The flames encourage our urgency, but we're careful not to be too fast or reckless. Our silence makes everything else more prominent, however. The screams of those being slaughtered fill me with a feeling of disgust. I mean, that's kind of a normal thing. If you hear the screams of the slaughtered, you might be disgusted. Yeah, then disgust? I don't know if that's the first emotion I would have. More like just agony or despair. Okay, whatever. We need to find cover, and Valessa points out a small alcove waiting nearby. Or fear, that one.
They're dying because they panicked. We need to stay calm and think through this together. If we freak out, we'll only end up like them, no?
Alright.
She has a point. Our first instinct was to run, but so was theirs. We should let them face the brunt of this attack.
So we're effectively letting them die to buy us time. Happy! Good idea! Let them soak it up first. That's a little psychopathic. There has to be another way to do this. I think I'll pick... Yeah, I kind of would pick sad, honestly.
What else are we supposed to do? We're not equipped to take them on alone.
But using them like pawns, Ulrich. The people of Valinor deserve more than that.
Do you have any better ideas? If we try to save them all, we'll die. I'm here to protect you two, not kill you.
My suspicions are correct. Ulrich is the one protecting us. This is why he is Bara. But why exactly are we a higher priority than the civilians? I venture a guess that we're currently in this Valinor. The pain in my head pulses again, and I stumble back. As I let out a groan, Ulrich rushes over to my side. His exaggerated concern is now understandable.
It must be the smoke. Make sure to sit down. The lower you are right now, the better. Are you having trouble breathing?
I shake my head and let him know it's not the smoke. This causes Valessa to chime in, voicing her concerns as well.
Yeah, something else is going on here. He's been acting strange for a while now. Is there something you need to tell us?
I can't seem to remember anything.
Did some debris fall on your head back there? I'm starting to side with Valessa on this one. Come on, time to gear you up.
He steps away for a few moments and inspects the ground around him. There's a brief period where I can't see him, but he returns with a blade. The fire causes it to glisten, almost like it's begging me to take it.
I don't care what's going on in that head of yours, but it's not more important than your survival. We're all overwhelmed. It's not just you.
He holds out the blade, expecting my compliance. At this rate, it seems like fighting may be inevitable.
Take it. We won't be standing here forever. As soon as we leave this alcove, we'll be vulnerable. I can't take care of you all the time, you know.
Sure, if there's assholes, let's go beat them up.
I'll feel better if you have something to fight with. Valessa has her daggers, but you had nothing.
I grab the blade and swing it a couple times, testing its weight. So what animal are we, you think? It seems good enough for me, and I wouldn't have any problems using it. Though it was a far cry from the massive blade that Ulrich carried. Now
then, it's time to move. Seems like some of the noise has finally died down. We should start by investigating the town square.
Shadox. He walks off, expecting us to follow along. But as I'm about to take a step, Valessa grabs my arm. The look on her face tells me something is wrong.
You were confused about all this, right? I bet you don't even know what being the seer means. Or how we've known each other for our entire lives.
Okay, you're getting a little dramatic. You don't know that. I look at the ground in both shame and confusion. She's completely right. My head is a mess. So I try to think of an excuse. Her response surprises me.
That's normal, but please listen. We only have a few moments before Ulrich notices we're not there. The seer is special. You wield spirits to induce prophetic visions. I wield spirits? Maybe I am a Shadox. When you have these visions, you're unable to remember anything. When you wake up, you'll dismiss it as a dream and forget it ever happened. As your scribe, it's my job to help you take advantage of this. We have to follow Ulrich now, but know one thing. The way you're acting, I'm certain this is a vision. That means you can use it for information. She takes a few steps closer to me and grabs my hands. Staring right in my eyes, I notice a glimmer of hope shine within her. I'm relieved. This means Valinor is still fine. When you wake up, use this vision to save everyone. It's your duty as seer to ensure this doesn't become real. Okay, you could have done that line read on you when you wake up, use this vision to save everyone. You kind of slurred that a little bit. You're doing pretty good voice acting. You did pretty good. That line could have been re-recorded, though. Just saying. She lets go of my hands and follows after Ulrich. Although it's hard to believe what she said, I'm less confused. I finally had a reason for why I felt so disconnected. But if this was a vision, then what would become of Ulrich and Valessa? Would all of this carnage be undone as soon as I woke up? What if they died? Or what if I died in this vision? So in the vision, I guess they're kind of, like, I guess what we're visionarying is kind of sentient. Like, it's kind of a dream, but the dream creatures are not, do they seem conscious too? I don't know. I follow after Valessa, realize I might never know. But a faint sense of determination rises up within me.
because we just recently played Undertale. If there was a chance that I could stop this, I had to do it. I didn't actually play Undertale recently, but I had to do the joke. In the present day, the Triumvirate conspires with their Grand Inquisitor. Alright. For the events that led to the Valinor's destruction had yet to be set in motion. Sylvie knelt before his masters, more eager to serve than he had ever been before.
Rise, Sylvie, but please, assure us of your certainty. We hate to act without knowing everything.
Okay, that's pretty cool they talk and use it, but can you imagine what would happen is like, come, follow the way to the altar, and then one of them says the pedestal is like, shit, I thought you guys were saying pedestal, not altar. God damn it, let's try that line again. Like, it'd be really annoying after a while if you guys don't use the exact same words.
The prisoner mentions Valinorth over and over. The rebels are hiding something of importance there. Along with recent events, we can only surmise one thing.
I can surmise that your chest floof is very floof.
The Blade of Exodus.
I am almost certain. But if that's where they've chosen to hide it, it means that our other target is also there.
Your compliance pleases us, Sylvie. Your plan was risky, but it worked out in the end. A final interrogation would influence our decision further.
You'd have me interrogate the prisoner once more. If I may be so bold, to what end do you request this?
Not you, Sylvie. We want your apprentice to do this. It is time for him to prove his worth.
Their voices echoed loudly through their darkened chambers. It mattered not which triumvirate spoke, for they were all of one mind. Oh, okay, well they won't interrupt each other then, that's good. With a clear irritation in his voice, Sylvie did his best to stay calm.
My apprentice? I've told you many times I want to work alone. It would be more efficient for me to do this myself.
Blah, 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 blah. You don't like teamwork. Come on, it's power of friendship. Shut up.
Insubordination. This is unbecoming of you, Sylvie. We demand that you obey.
Gotta obey these fucking, like, sick robes we have, guys.
The role of Grand Inquisitor can be very dangerous. If we were to lose you, a replacement would be necessary. You must train this replacement while you still breathe.
As you command.
No, he's wearing a belt. That much I know. He probably has pants. Sylvie turned his back to the Triumvirate and spotted his apprentice. He was standing by the door, listening to their conversation. If he'd heard of Sylvie's distaste for him, he showed no concern.
Interrogation? And what would you have me extract? I thought the prisoner was at his wit's end.
I expected like a little kid. I don't know why. Oh boy, do I have to interrogate a prisoner? Woo!
Anything to confirm our suspicions about Valinorth. If you fail, I will not hesitate to punish you. Remember what we're on the verge of.
I understand, Master. I'll do my best to get you what you need.
Wait, what?
What are the limits when it comes to my approach?
Wait, hold on. Why is the room tilted in that shot? It is?
Keep him alive, Helen. I find that psychological pain is the most valid approach. He cares more for his rebel allies than he does for himself.
Then I will threaten the rebellion's very core. I'm grateful to have this opportunity, Master. Things are starting to line up well for me.
No way, I love this game so much. I love that you can have a poly relationship with so many characters because my gay ass can't decide who to date. This is a relationship game? I actually didn't know that. I'm not really getting that impression at the moment. Well, okay, a little bit, maybe.
We tend to do that when you have the Triumvirate's blessing. We should take care of this immediately and catch them unprepared. Every moment we waste is a moment they gain, Halen.
I mean, there might be a slight tilt to the right. I don't see it. Maybe a slight one, but... maybe? I don't know. You kind of broke my brain on that one, Selena. They leave the room together, talking amongst themselves. The Triumvirate waits until they've gone before speaking. a faint smile on their faces as age-old plans come to fruition.
So it's finally going to happen, isn't it? What we've been waiting for all these years. Do you think we should tell Sophie our true plan?
Well, why are you asking yourself? You're all of one mind. You don't need to ask the question. Right? Halen entered the prison cell without Sophie at his side. His master remained outside as a pseudo-display of trust. Pseudo. But it was evident to Halen that no trust existed. The prisoner looked up, surprised to see a different face. Yet within him was still a slowly dwindling hope. Cut off from the rebellion, these would be his final days.
So, someone different has finally come. What are you, the executioner or something? I figured it was only a matter of time.
You have such broad shoulders.
Actually, Sophie said to keep you alive. You seem to underestimate your value, Shane.
You think I'm important? That's not what I expected to hear.
Don't
Mildly
take it the
flaming?
wrong way.
Maybe a little bit.
You must not know what I meant.
He knelt down in front of the prisoner. With a sinister smirk, he tried to intimidate Shane.
You're important as a bargaining chip. And the fact I must keep you alive is a curse. When I'm through with you, you'll beg for death.
Most of these enemies are pretty solid, though.
You see, I'm different from Sophie. He's past the bar. They no longer need to test him. But I'm in the position where results must happen. When we give you back, you'll be a broken man. And soon after, the foundation of the rebellion will crumble. You think we don't know that Damek is your leader?
Oh, good idea, Jeff. Also, thanks, Rocky. Sorry to hear about your tablet. I guess it's just out of power. Also, I don't know if Meg was making a joke or if he actually knew about the game. I think he was just talking about the game. I don't know much about this game, actually.
What?
Shane's eyes shot wide open in utter shock. It seems that Halen's threat worked to great effect.
You'd be stupid not to think we have inside men. I could order Damek's execution in a matter of seconds. You don't value your life, but you value his.
In a matter of seconds? I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's magic. There seems to be magic in this world. Can we do a quick little telephone call? I mean, this is probably a bluff, but...
Good. Now, I expect you to answer my questions. The Blade of Exodus, is it in Valinor Village? And the one who can wield it, do they live there as well?
Yeah, that was kind of an obvious bluff, honestly. By the time we catch up with Ulrich, it's already too late. But his large blade is in deadlock with one of the enemy soldiers. Valessa draws her daggers, and I hold out my sword, ready.
We order you to cease your resistance. Those who support the rebellion must perish.
So we clearly... So the Empire, whatever, guys, they seem to be holy warrior guys. They probably think their cause is just and all that shit. I can tell by their armor. To break the deadlock, Ulrich kicks his opponent in the gut. They stumble back and ready their blade with a flourish. It isn't much longer until they charge toward him again.
Valessa, your dagger!
Ulrich jumps out of the way and rolls towards us. Landing on his knees, he pries one of the daggers from her grip. Without even looking, he throws it behind himself. He closes his eyes and looks down at the ground. When he hears the impact of the dagger, his ears fold back. For a moment, it looks like he's actually sad.
Spirits, please forgive my misdeeds. I acted only to protect those under my watch.
What? This is a misdeed? Ulrich cares about the spirits? For some reason, I didn't expect that. Before I could think about this further, something happens. As typically is happening in a story, something happens when a story advances, yes. Catching Valessa and I off guard, we're in complete disbelief.
Huh?
He notices the shocked expression on both of our faces. Rising to his feet, it's not long before he wears the same look. The enemy soldier fell as expected, but there was nothing inside. Scattered pieces of armor litter the ground. As we process this revelation, confusion soon assails us. This was no ordinary tech. What we just saw was impossible. Have you not heard of magic living armors? No?
What's going
that
on?
apparently can talk?
Ulrich, what are those things?
I don't know. Come closer, you two. This doesn't feel right. Empty suits of armor with a hatred for the rebellion.
Only those who've mastered the spirits could do this. I'm afraid this is much larger than we thought.
That can't be true. The spirits are pure. They aid us.
Yeah, sure looks like they wanted to help. It's not my only concern, though. Look at this.
She scoffs as she steps towards the helmet. Kneeling down, she pulls her dagger out of it.
Do you recognize these colors, Ulrich?
No, why would I?
Gold and white. The triumvirate standard. I would have never made such a deduction, but only they could wield the spirits in this fashion.
I mean, their armor kind of gave it away. I've already learned their colors at this point. Alright, tell me about them.
They're supposed protectors. Some even the creators of Alestia. I have no idea why they'd want to do this to us.
Wouldn't be the first time they attempted occupation. They hinted that the rebellion was involved here. Valessa, do you know anything about that?
Okay, so we're not part of the rebellion. Good to know.
I don't. So much has changed lately. With our last elder gone, Miles has been in charge. Maybe he has something to tell us.
So we're just like a third party,
It's worth
I
a
guess.
shot. We should see if he's alive. Protecting you is my goal, but now I want answers. If anyone knows about this, it would be him.
To the elder's house, then.
Yeah.
I follow after Valessa and Ulrich. We walk along the circular road surrounding the water tank. I make note of it for later. It might help us put out the flames. Weren't there people dying just a little bit ago, and now we're just having a stroll? Can we just, like, save them now? No? Alright. More suits of armor litter the ground. There's so many of them. It makes me feel a bit hopeful, like we stood a chance. I mean, maybe it did. They're just armor. The village wasn't defenseless, and this was proof.
Aren't you glad we waited now? If we rushed in head first, we'd be dead.
I mean, I didn't make the decision. I actually argued against it, but it didn't matter, because... But thou must, you know.
Then where are the villagers' bodies? I only see the suits of armor lying around.
Everyone got spirited away. That was a good question, actually. No blood, no signs of a major struggle. Only the fire and the glistening of the white armor. Oh, that's just a question about the villagers.
Sign. Then they won and fled to safety. Are there any havens in Valinor?
I'd say the elder's house and the Grand Tree. The fire may not have reached either yet.
Wait. How many people can fit in the Grand Tree?
Dude, it's a grand tree. It can fit a grand amount of people.
Hundreds. Easily.
The rest can be on the treetops. It's fine. It's a tree. Relax. There's plenty of branches.
Not as good of a sign as I thought. The enemy could be trying to round everyone up. Put them all in one place before killing them.
That's dirty.
But it works. We still don't know what they're after. It can't be genocide. It must be something else. Does Valinor have anything the Triumvirate would want? Did the change in leadership bring anything with it?
Like I said, we'd have to talk to Milos. But I doubt he'd be at the Grand Tree.
They look at each other, and then look to me. I could tell that Valessa was pushing us towards Milos. But that's because she knew this was a vision.
But what if there are people in the Grand Tree? Is Milos more important than all of them? It would be cold to let everyone die.
Ulrich, this is larger than Valinor. Especially if it involves the rebellion. Information could save entire villages.
I don't like what you're suggesting.
Like it's any better than what you suggested? Using the people as pawns to buy us time? How is this any different?
They fume at each other, but I realize it's a stupid argument. Oh, they realize it is. In the midst of this battle, nothing was so black and white, though I find it odd that Ulrich switched viewpoints so fast.
This is a matter of Valinor's future. Such things are under the jurisdiction of the Seer. I stand by his side, and you stand by both of ours. That is, unless you want to abandon your job. But that wouldn't look good on your perfect record.
I guess you can fight dirty too. I don't like this, but you have me by the throat. I can only hope that you make the right choice.
He stares at me with a serious look on his face. Talk about putting me on the spot. But if this was my role, I had to fill the shoes.
What are we going to do?
Well, if this is a vision, then fuck the people. Because it doesn't matter, it's a vision. So I guess information would be more valuable in the situation rather than saving visionary, dreamy people that don't actually exist. So, information. I vowed to stop this attack, and I needed information. If anyone could give us that information, it would be Milas. He'd be able to shed light on the rebellion's involvement, too.
Good. We're on the same page. We can use that information to help others. It would be selfish to focus only on Valinor.
It is a vision of a possible future, but see, we can get information in this vision of the future, and then when the actual future happens, we can help people. There. You know?
I hope you two are certain about this. You're gambling with hundreds of lives.
Ulrich didn't understand this like we did. We're basically in a dream. We can save the lives of a dream people, or we can get information we can take out of the dream. That's our choice. Ulrich didn't understand this like we did, and we weren't about to waste time lecturing him. I was grateful that his job required following us. We continued in the same direction, heading to Milas' house. It didn't feel good to abandon others, but we had to do it. Unless, of course, this was real. I'd use the future to cheat the present. I mean, visions are not exactly dreams, but they're not reality either. So, yeah. In the present day, Damek found himself lost in thought. Using the tunnels under Mazio for solitude, he found peace. There was much to plan, but for once, they had the upper hand.
Valinor, the Blade of Exodus. There must be something the spirits aren't telling us. Something we could use to take down the Triumvirate. When I touched the blade, I saw our victory, but I'm not trained to interpret such things. I pray for the cooperation of Valinor.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't just tell him, dude, we're in a fucking vision, just shut up. But I guess he wouldn't believe it. One of his advisors approaches, careful not to startle him. When he realizes he's detected, he lets out a soft yawn.
Another one of those sleepless nights, Damek? I can't blame you. It's been the same with me. Did I hear you say something about Valinor?
Also, I guess everybody in this world's a puppo. There's nothing really wrong with that, but I was really hoping for a little more species variety.
Yeah, I was thinking out loud. In Valinor, there's a person who can peer into the future. That's why I had Pro bring the blade there last week.
I'm aware of their culture, but their seers use spirits, not a blade. Do you think it will be that easy?
Worth the gamble, isn't it? It's not my place to wield knowledge of the future. But the seers are experts, conditioned from birth. Pro has sent word that the current seer is male. His investigation is progressing slower than I'd like. We need to pick up the pace, and fast. Now that they have the blade, they're a target. The Triumvirate is likely planning their attack as we speak. That's why I've decided to send an experienced fighter.
I guess that's me.
I've had the mayor of Mazio write up a decree. It will allow you entry and the ability to complete what Pro started. On paper, and to everyone else, it's a simple export. Only Milas knows the importance of this blade. All you have to do is deliver it from Valinor back to me. That is, with the seer at your side, Ulrich.
You seem to think that will be easy. It's not likely they know the truth of Valinor. I can bring the seer, but they'll just decline.
Present yourself as a mercenary, not a rebel. Tell them a meeting of importance is happening in Mazio. We want their ability to help with some important decisions.
Dishonesty. Great way to start a partnership.
It worked for us, don't you remember? Look at how invaluable you've become.
Ulrich laughed and turned to look at the dark depths of the tunnels. At the moment, everything ahead seemed bleak and uncertain. Having an ally cast light on that future would be a tremendous boon.
So this is it, isn't it? With the seer at our side that can direct us, we can secure the victory that you witnessed.
I almost don't believe it, but it's true. Now I have to be honest with you, Ulrich. There's a reason why I'm sending you instead of asking Pro.
And what's that?
He may not be strong enough to face what's coming. It's not just a hunch that Valinor will be attacked. In our victory, I saw its death and destruction.
I see.
So I asked that you protect the seer and his allies at all costs. And when you come across Pro, have him join you as well. I'll make sure to prepare an exquisite welcoming party.
I'll leave first thing in the morning. What did you see exactly?
Nothing you can't fight your way out of, but trust me, It will show them the truth. And when you get back, they'll be ready to fight. But promise me one thing, and one thing only. That along the way the seer touches the blade. If he can wield it, then we have our greatest weapon.
So, they're kind of manipulating the situation, I see. They're not the bad guys, but they're still being manipulative. And now our lab. We enter Miles' house and immediately spread out. After a few moments, it's evident that nobody's here. Ulrich sighs, but Valessa isn't ready to give up.
I don't know what you expected. You think the Elder would just stay here? I assume he's at the Grand Tree as well.
No, there has to be something here. It's not him, but his books as well. He must have some kind of record.
Record of what exactly?
Ulrich, the Triumvirate is burning down Valinor. They seem to think we're caught up with the rebels. Thinking the Elder is clueless? That's stupid.
She walks over to the large window and looks outside. We're all relieved that the flames haven't reached us yet. Looking through some papers, she whispers to herself.
Come on, Miles. Give us something. You're smarter than this. I know it. Shipping manifests. Anything.
With a renewed determination, Ulrich examines the large table. He shovels papers aside and flips through the books. It's almost like he's in a rush to find something first.
None of this is helping, Valessa. It's everything you'd expect to find.
No, there has to be something here. Come on, Seer. Give us a hand.
Alright. Oh, you can freely move the cursor around. We'll change the bell when hovering on an interactive object. The icon will change. When it's changed, it'll interact with the selected object. You can initiate conversation with present comrades by clicking their icon. Note that not every map has a comrade, while others have multiple. Some maps will display how many books are hidden and how many you've found. Oh, okay. When present, this icon will leave to the current world map. Click this icon. Oh, so there's okay. It is optional, but highly recommended that you talk to your comrades. Quick save. Alright, let's talk to our I like the little sprites. Hi.
I wish. This whole place is a mess. Honestly, I don't even know what to look for. Miles isn't stupid, though. He'd leave something.
You're very blushy about this. Why? Okay.
Honestly, only a few months. He was thrust into the position against his will. Something happened to his father, the previous elder. But he's done such a good job, it's crazy. The leadership of Valinor did not skip a beat. He must have been training under his father.
What happened to his dad?
Nobody knows, actually. He went on a trip to Mazzio and never came back. Search parties came up with nothing. It's like he vanished. Normally we'd hold an election, but things were crazy. That and Valinor is really big on family and tradition. Everyone just seemed to expect that Miles would take over.
Oh, that's fair on golf. You seem to think highly of him.
He's performed admirably for the position he's in. I doubt even a full election would find a better candidate. I was scared for a while, but he really filled the role. He didn't want to do it, but he kind of had to. It all happened so fast. I'm not sure of the specifics. But it was seamless. You almost couldn't notice.
If he doesn't want to do it, he shouldn't have to.
I guess, but we can't all get what we want.
True.
It's not like I grew up wanting to be a scribe. He'll grow into the role, I'm sure of it. But we can worry about that after this is over. There's lots to do, and we can't even find him. I really hope that nothing bad has happened.
That's really... She also has a bow. What if he's helping the rebellion? She's going to be mad if I say this.
I'd want to get to the bottom of it, then. There's more going on than we can take at face value. He'd have his reasons, and I'd want to hear all of them.
Okay, I think excuse what's going on right now.
That's the thing, though. It's not actually happening. If he can explain himself, and we can prevent this, well, then we can deal with it in a reasonable way. We can't condemn him on a vision like this. That's like hating someone for what they do in a dream. Besides, we have no way of confirming this as his fault.
Fair. Alright, bye. Oh, wait. Are you sure this is a vision?
I'm making a pretty educated guess. I'm trained to detect this kind of stuff. But it's so weird because this feels like reality. What's going to happen to me? I mean, technically, I'm not real, right? That's hard to take in. This feels real to me. But the way you're acting, yeah, it makes me certain. It's very rare that I become lucid in a vision. But with the evidence at hand, I'm very sure. Better not talk about it too loud, though. I don't want Ulrich to realize something is up. The rules state that only you and I can know.
Oh, what would be the harm?
Trust me, it's better for him not to know. He'd act recklessly. He'd be really confused. Well, more reckless than normal, I mean. These are gifts, blessings, directly from the realm of spirits. We're not in any position to harm what they give us.
Well, since everyone's a puppo, that does answer one question. We are most certainly a puppo. I think. That much I can say. How long do they last?
As long as any other dream, I guess. Or maybe when the spirits decide you've seen enough. That's one of the things we don't really know. I guess something traumatic, like your death, would end it. Our minds aren't fit to comprehend what would happen next. We should make the most of the time we do have in here.
Okay. Why do I get visions?
Nobody knows, but we assume it's to protect us. If we know it's coming, we can change what happens. Seers have done it time and time again for thousands of years. A lot of people think they'll want something in exchange. That they're planting seeds to reap later down the line. Stupid superstition if you ask me. They just want to help.
Well, how do you know that? Nobody helps for free.
Well, I guess we'll have to disagree on that. There's nothing more pure than the spirits. This gift is a truly beautiful thing.
We just saw the possibility that the spirits were also attacking the village. Valessa, you're ignoring that fact. Also, nobody helps for free. Even in a friendship, you are technically trading. No friendship is completely entirely selfless. Everybody is in a friendship because they're getting something out of it. Even if all they're getting out of it is seeing another person happy, that's still them getting something out of it. It's okay that that's the way a friendship is, but it's just a fact of life. So yeah, nobody ever wants something completely for free. You call this a gift? This is gonna make her mad.
This particular vision, no. But the concept of visions in general, yes. Without them, we'd have gone extinct long ago. They guide the world to a better future. And what's better, they ask for nothing in return. Only that we continue to harness this amazing power.
It's okay to be selfish. Or rather, it's okay to be selfish and controlled in controlled environments and controlled amounts. That's not being selfish, though. That's more being self-focused. Actually caring about yourself and what you might need and want, you know? We've known each other our whole lives?
Yeah, it's just like I said. For better or worse. I was trained to be your scribe from a young age. We've been inseparable ever since. It's not exactly what I grew up wanting, but I'm not in a position to shun Valinor's tradition. Besides, I could think of people much worse to serve.
Are you really forced to do this?
Well, I guess the answer is both yes and no. Before my parents passed on, they took care of the paperwork. Until I came of age, I had no choice but to obey.
That's kind of shitty.
When I did come of age, however, I got to choose. Leave Valinor and pursue my own dreams, or be your scribe. I guess it's pretty obvious which one I chose, huh?
Wait, either do the thing we told you to do, or you have to leave the village? That's kind of fucking bullshit.
So, while I was forced into the role, I chose to stick with it. Although, if this is any indication, we might have to leave Valinor. In that case, I get to be your scribe and travel the world.
Okay, glad to have you by my side.
Yeah, and same to you. Look at this vision. We're going to do great things. Let's get to the bottom of this and save our village together.
Wait, what are the scribe's duties?
Actually, you're seeing them firsthand. Imagine how confused you'd be without me.
Oh, okay,
We're
Car.
supposed to guide you through these visions. But when you wake up, you also need to report to me. Or, I guess you can report to Milas in these dire circumstances. Either way, I help you in here and you report out there. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't remember this. You'd wake up, shrug it off, and go about your day. Imagine what would happen to Valinor then.
Almost sounds like you're more important than me.
Of course not. We're two sides of the same coin. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do anything without you. A scribe would do little good without visions to inhabit.
Are you the only one?
Yes and no. Actually, it's pretty technical. I'm your only scribe, but there's also a scribe in training. His name is Fortin, and he's prepared to take over if needed. It's a recent addition to the ranks, but it helps out a lot. Without a scribe, your abilities would be pretty useless. Having someone fully trained means no one misses a beat. Imagine if you had this vision while I was gone. Just from that, I think you can gauge Fortum's importance. He's a nice guy too, but I'm sure he's long since fled.
Oh,
I'm sure you'll meet him when you get out of here. He tends to knock on your door first thing in the morning. So, let's focus on the matter at hand, alright?
how long have we known each other? Well, we already answered that question technically, but let's ask anyways.
Since I was a little kid, actually. I was trained to be your scribe from the moment I could speak. It's a prestigious position, and I couldn't exactly say no. Some of the other children were jealous. Their parents too, which seemed really immature to me. Apparently, there's some competition for the role.
Oh, parents being upset that their children isn't getting special treatment? That's never happened in reality. What the hell? This is clearly a fantasy game.
But the elder chose me, and like it or not, here I am. I guess I'm just blessed that I actually do like this arrangement. In the end, the spirits really were looking down on me. Even if being here right now is terrifying, I'm still happy. Doing my duty to save Valinor, it's a dream come true. We don't...
Oh. Well, forgot the gist of that. Accidentally clicked. Alright, let's talk to you. Find anything useful?
No, there's not much here. But I guess if we spread out, we stand a better chance. Not that there's too much ground to cover.
What should I look for?
If I knew, we'd have found it already. Valessa seems to think Milas left something behind. But he isn't dumb. He wouldn't leave stuff out in the open. If it were up to me, we'd all be long gone. I can't fight your choice, though. It's your village. Let's do our best to hurry and get out of here. No, there's not much here.
Plus, it seems determined.
Actually, I was going to ask you. I thought you two were in sync or something. Don't think I didn't notice your secret talks. But I'm not mad or anything. I know the relationship between you and your culture. Whatever it is, it's not like you're plotting against me.
Well, not really. Where did you come from?
Huh? You mean today, or in general?
I mean, both.
Oh. I'm a mercenary from Mazeo. I was actually hired to come bring you back there. A summit is happening and they want your input.
Hyper. Simon, this is awfully convenient.
Is that an accusation of some kind? Where I come from, you don't accuse the guy with the bigger sword. I'll pretend I didn't hear that and carry on with his search.
Okay.
Look, I don't ask for specifics. I do this to get paid and make a living. If you want, feel free to ask them when we get there. And that is, if you two even agree to follow me. But right now, I can't let you die on my watch. We will discuss the rest once we're out of harm's way.
What kind of summon is
Because of its
this?
central location, it's the perfect meeting spot. The generals from Alarinthia and Baltia sail over annually. And Valinor is non-partisan, so you usually sit this one out. Maybe it's a chance to get Valinor more invested in Alestian politics. But they want your input and I've been sent to pick you up. I guess it's a good thing I got here when I did, right? It's basically the hub of Alestia. Ports from there go to the rest of the known world. A huge city of commerce. It's full of strange people.
Is there non-Papa people? Are those strange people?
But you'd get stabbed in the back before you find help. That's what puts people like me in business. Protectors of the weak. Well, not that I'm calling you weak, but you get the idea.
Alright. Have any theories about all this?
Well, yeah, if the Triumvirate is truly responsible. Alestia is divided into 4 nations, right? Valinor, Mazeo, Alarinthia, and Baltius. Each nation has a general that serves the Triumvirate. They rule in their stead and make sure everything runs smoothly. Except, you guessed it, the Elder or General of Valinor. No one really knows why you remained untouched for so long. But the theory is that they don't want to anger the spirits. You know, because of all that spiritual energy residing here. So I'm thinking this is a power play. Take the 4th nation and control the whole world. They did the same thing to Mazeo about 20 years ago.
Oh, what happened there?
The same thing that's happening here, but with less fire. They occupied the free town and placed a general in charge. They used terrible force, but the town improved because of it.
Less fire. They just set up a bonfire in the middle of town and served up marshmallows. And that's how they converted the town.
I'll never agree with their methods, but Mazeo is peaceful. If they're burning villages down now, though, unforgivable. Perhaps the rebellion isn't in the wrong after all.
Of course you would say that, since you secretly work for them.
Well, yeah, if the Triumvirate, each nation, no one really... So I'm thinking...
Can't let them have Valinor.
Right now, they already do. That's why we need to get out of here as soon as possible. A stiff drink at Peregrino is sounding pretty good right now.
We can't let them have Valinor, or more specifically, we can't let them have the ashes of Valinor.
Let's hurry up and get this finished. It's turned into a fool's errand, and I'm no fool.
He's not a merc. He works for the rebels. Merc's his title to be undercover. What are your thoughts on our culture?
It's not like anything I've seen before. So in tune with the spirits, you let them govern you. The rest of Alestia has history in their own hands. Not that it's a bad thing, of course. It's just different from the rest of the world. From what I've seen, the spirits have a good grasp on things.
The rest of the world doesn't care for spirits?
Well, you're in the middle of a forest out here. You know what they say about nature and spiritual energy. The rest of the world has been deforested and settled differently.
Wow, there's not a single tree in sight outside of this area.
It's not that they don't care for spirits. Actually, it's more like they don't know anything else. They've lived their entire lives in areas devoid of spiritual energy.
It's not like they don't care for spirits. I mean, have you seen the local taverns?
The Valinor is so peaceful while the rest of the world isn't. It might very well be the influence of the spirit realm. You have a good thing going here. I can't stand what's happening.
It's probably the only spirits they really care about.
It's not like any... Not that it's a bad thing, of course.
So you'd live here if you had the chance?
Let's not jump to conclusions. I'm a sellsword. There's no business in peace for me. After I retire, though, it's always an option. If I live long enough to retire, that is. My business isn't exactly the safest in the world. What's going on here is pretty good proof of that.
Alright, bye. Did I actually go through all the dialogue options, Valessa? Eh.
That's going to, but the way you're... Better not talk
Rules.
about it too loud, though. I don't want... Oh, there's entire books written on the subject, you know. But no one must know when they're in a vision. It could screw up what the spirits want to show us.
Spirits don't like it when secrets are shared.
These are gifts. Blessings. Directly from the realm of spirits. We're not in any position to harm what they give us. Yeah, it's not...
Alright, that's all. I think that's the only one I missed. Boop. Alright. Let's see. Well, there's a bookcase. I'll walk over to the bookshelf and see what I can find. It seems to be full of books about the spirit realm and Valinor. Somehow I don't think either of these subjects will help. Eventually I come across a book called About the Rebellion. I doubt it's what we need, but I decide to take a look. As I open it up, a piece of paper falls out.
Milas's note. Recently, the Rebel Alliance has reached out to me. At first, I pushed them away, thinking them little more than a rogue group of bandits. But they said they knew the truth about my father. How could they know? In my situation, it was hard to resist temptation. I had to ask them exactly what they knew. The truth shocked me, and I have yet to tell anybody. I might take it to my grave. It's not the truth I expected, but it did shake me to my core. My father was in the middle of an important task. As his son, I felt that it was my duty to help finish it. I have no hatred for the Triumvirate. This is simply a matter of familial ties. Were anybody posed with such a situation, I doubt their actions would differ from mine. It doesn't seem too difficult either. They've given me a blade and tasked me with protecting it. In the next little while, they will send an envoy to pick it up. At that point, I am to send someone special with them. I must keep their name secret so nobody finds out. This envoy, however, will be coming any day. I can't wait to meet him. I've been told that he knew my father, and he would have all manner of stories to tell.
Alright, well, Carcerus, I'd like to address what you... Also, hi there, hey there, Noel. How you doing today? Carcerus, so that rule makes sense. If others know about the vision, that it throws off the vision, corrupts it further than a knowing seer and scribe do. The more who know, the more it gets skewed to the point where individuals cease to care about the consequences since they don't matter, it's just a vision. This is true. Kind of the logic that exists in some time travel stories, like, don't tell them you're from the future and stuff, you know, like, it could fuck things over. Yeah. Should I show the note to Ulrich and Valessa? No, let's keep... I'm glad it gives the option. Like, it's kind of nice. Let's look around a bit more. So I found the note. Is there anything else here? No. Let's keep looking. How about this shelf? Hey, it's a ladder.
Actually, it's a step ladder.
I mean, you step on all ladders, so they're all step ladders. I doubt we have time to argue this. To avoid further conflict, I nod and move on. When you really think about it, there's really no difference between a step ladder and a ladder, because you do step on a ladder. Unless you're fucking crazy and you like somehow manage to climb up without using your feet, I guess. That's a lot harder. It's not as good, not as fun. I have no idea what this pot is doing on the floor. Milos may have been a good leader, but he's not organized.
He probably just left everything in a hurry. The mess means he was looking for something, right? Maybe it was something to leave behind for us.
So do the same logic as checking multiple times and walking through them to get an idea of what happens or happened. You need things that flow organically to understand what's going on. To learn from it, you know. I crawl under the table. It's full of useless trinkets. Whatever we were looking for, I doubt it's down here.
Hey, it isn't playtime. Get out from under there.
Come on over here with me.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. If you pass for authority around here, we're all dead.
I'm just a seer, jeez. I get out from under the table under Ulrich's verbal lashing. He might have disagreed, but we had to search everywhere we could. And there's stuff down there. He'd feel pretty silly if the stuff we needed is down there.
Hey, it isn't playtime. Good, and don't let it happen again. We can't afford to waste any time right now.
I get out from under the table under... Okay, same thing. Same information. Alright, what else we got? I walk over to Valessa and stand beside her. She's hard at work, reading papers and pushing books aside. I've never seen someone quite so determined.
Hey, have any luck yet?
Not yet.
Same. It's getting a bit discouraging. I'm thinking it would be something written. Have you checked all the tables and bookshelves?
Yeah, he's just kind of okay at the merc job. Like, this is technically an act. He's actually a rebel, but he says he's a merc. I nod and turn back to the rest of the room. I guess I should help out instead of watching them. She was certain we'd find something, and I trusted her. Also, remember how the rebellion leader said tried to get the sage to use the sword? I bet that random-ass sword that was just kind of hanging out, that Ulrich pushed on us was actually the sword in question.
Hey, have any luck yet? Oh, alright. But maybe you should look as well. Check out the tables and bookshelves?
I just wanted to flirt. I nod and turn back to the rest of the room. I guess I should help out instead of watching them. She was certain we'd find something. I trusted her. I wanted to look at you, though. Perhaps in a non-creepy fashion, hopefully. It's a map of known Alestia. I've seen it many times. We're in Valinor with Mazeo to the north. The east of Mazeo is Elethria, and north is Baltius. These four nations make up our world. Everything was fine until the Fire Nation attacked. Each is governed by a general of the Triumvirate, except for Valinor, which has remained non-partisan. It's odd how I remember the basics, but little else. I wonder if this attack is an attempt to occupy Valinor. After that, all four nations would be under their control. It's a pretty shitty map. It's just giant sea, and I guess it's just a giant swath of blue. I guess adding details at that distance would be kind of annoying to draw, though. Did I already check the table itself? I'll push aside a few things, looking for anything of note. It's so cluttered that it's hard to find anything at all. Ulrich slams his hand on the table, startling me.
This is my spot. Find somewhere else to look, alright? We need to cover more ground if we want anything.
Grr, row, 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 grr, this is my table, grr, I don't know what I'm looking for, but grr, this is my table! He seems awfully defensive, yeah. I notice he keeps looking at the papers, almost like he knew what he wanted to find. I'm gonna do it again.
This is...
Okay, he doesn't. Alright, well, I found the thing, so I guess let's progress the story. Continue story. This is it. This is what we needed. I call over Ulrich and Valessa, showing them what I could found. Ulrich seems tensed up and even a little anxious.
So Milos was working with the rebellion. Apparently, he was sheltering a blade. Could that be why they attacked us?
I get it, though. Ulrich wanted to find this thing first, so that he could then hide it away, so we didn't see it, basically.
Doing all this for a blade? Let's be realistic, Valessa.
Also, since the paper kind of outs him a little bit, like, it kind of puts Ulrich's role in suspicion, this paper.
It must have been very important. I'm assuming Milos took it with him. I don't see any blades lying around here. But about this envoy he mentioned, and this supposed special person. Ulrich, why did you lie to us?
Exactly. It's true. Anybody would have figured it out by now. He seems to admit defeat and closes his eyes, almost like he didn't want us to see as he spoke.
We didn't think you'd come if you knew. I tried to hide it, but I guess there's no point anymore. After seeing this attack, I need to request your help. This is far from the first village they'll raise. They're up to something much bigger. That's why you wanted to come here, right?
Look, the rebellion probably has the right idea if the general triumvirate are a bunch of holy assholes, but resorting to dirty tactics is not becoming. It's not an ends justify the means thing. Come on, be chill. Be clear.
Yeah, you're right. There's little time to argue and nowhere else to go. Looks like you got what you needed, Ulrich. Let's head back to the Grand Tree. There might still be time.
We all nod, acknowledging an unspoken truth. Ulrich didn't care about those in the Grand Tree. He only knew that coming here would blow his cover. But I know that this information would be a huge advantage. We had a probable cause for their attack and knew Milas' secret. We head back to the town square, instilled with hope. The flames have spread, but it's not too bad. I need to make sure that I don't inhale too much smoke. As we take slow, cautious steps, my mind is conflicted. There's one thing I can't seem to get off my mind. This blade, or whatever. Was it worth all this? Destroying an entire culture over something so simple.
Sorry, I can't see all that well. You two will have to lead the way. I'm not as familiar with the surroundings.
We crouch and make our way through Balanorth. I have a rising urge to cough, but I try and hold it back. We wouldn't want to make it this far and get caught. The water tank is cracking and leaking its contents. A small stream trickles down through the village. This would be our best tool to hinder the flames.
This isn't right. Not at all. Where is everyone, Ulrich? There's not a single body.
Like I said, they could be at the Grand Tree. It's isolated and far away from here. I'm willing to bet the flames won't reach it.
It doesn't make any sense, though. Think about it for a second. In that alcove, we heard screams.
Again, they got spirited away.
The people of Valinor dying. Not only burning, but getting attacked. There should be bodies all over the place.
Nah, fam, they got absorbed by something. Something spiritual. She was right, and it bothered me as well. The current scene didn't match what we heard. Was it possible for visions to warp this way?
What are you suggesting, Valessa? Do you think they stole the bodies?
If they did, there'd be blood. There's nothing. Not even a trace. Doesn't make any sense, Ulrich.
I'd say you're right, for argument's sake. Why is it more important than going to the Grand Tree? Talking about it only seems to be wasting time.
There might not be anybody at the Grand Tree. I don't think we know where we're up against. We should cut our losses and run, Ulrich.
I mean, we're trying to get information, and this is a provision, so fuck it if we die, right? So let's try to get more information, not run.
You need to make up your mind, Valessa. Running back and forth will get us all killed. Are we going to the Grand Tree or not?
It's true, she was changing her mind far too fast. At the moment, she seemed to value our survival. Could she be starting to doubt that this is a vision? All I had to go on was her word. I only believed her because it made sense at the time. How could I gather information if we leave Valinor?
If you want to leave, we're going to Peregrino. It'll be the first place for survivors to flee. If Milas is there, he can tell us all about this attack.
It's a good enough plan of action that we nod to one another, but as we continue to move, everything changes. A laugh from atop the water tank, almost maniacal. Oh no, he has the water and he is evil.
Such loyalty to the man who condemned you all. If you want to know where Milas is, I'd love to show you. I can even reunite you with the rest of the villagers.
I think you're talking about Perrier. Spelled basically Perrier. Carcerus. I like that water. It's good. We stop in our tracks and look up at the water tank. A silhouette of a man stands there, gripping a large blade. It's white and gold, with majesty embellished by the flames. It reminds me of the suits of armor we fought earlier. I have no doubt that there was some sort of relation. We must be looking at the man responsible for this. Okay, Car. He jumps down from the water tank and lands with a roll. I take a few steps back, ensuring that Ulrich remains at the front. If his job was our protection, now is the time to shine through.
What a pitiful little village. It's no fun when they don't put up a fight. Did you know what they did in their final moments?
You know, he's not a puppo. just randomly gonna say that because I just thought about it. Like, what's he? What is he? Dragon? I feel like Floof Dragon, but he looks a little baddish as well. Goat? He's got horns, but he doesn't really look goat-like otherwise. I'd say Dragon probably. Floof Dragon.
They called out to you, Seer. They wanted your help, and you let them down. I guess the stories I heard about you were wrong.
Dude, I'm just a fucking seer. I'm not a fucking gigantic level 99 god tier warrior. What the fuck do you expect me to do?
So you already have the blade. Let us leave. We can resolve this peacefully.
Hey, how do you know him?
No survivors. Don't you remember the rule?
Oh.
Like a garden, we have to pluck all the weeds.
Rough.
Is that all these people are to you? Sophie, they have a culture and history.
Wait, Ulrich, are you like a triple agent? Like, what's going on here?
Yes, but it's not theirs that I'm interested in. In fact, I'm only here to claim the Seer's soul. Everything else was just for fun. For sport.
Oh, you want my souls? I was right. You just, like, absorb people, didn't you? Or something. This becomes personal, as they seem to know each other. They both work for opposing forces. I'm sure they fought before. They sound like they're working together. I don't know what's going on. It tickles me that he likens killing the villagers to a sport.
You don't mean...
My orders had nothing to do with burning down this village. I wasn't supposed to kill anyone unless I had to, either. But you know, my apprentice isn't very fun to train with.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's because you want to work alone, and you just got so frustrated having to work with your apprentice and be a team player that you started to let out your frustration on the village. Oh, what a poor little baby.
Disgusting. Melissa, take this seer and run. I'll catch up with you at Peregrino.
Also, he sounds like a little tantrum fit guy. I don't know. Ulrich pulls out his blade and assumes a fighting stance. Sylvie does the same, and their eyes meet in deadlock. I look at Valessa, we nod before starting to run. Unfortunately, we don't make it very far. We hear Ulrich scream and turn back to look. Salvi smirks at us, his blade deep in Ulrich's abdomen.
Where do you think you're going, you two? It would be rude to leave before I'm done with you. Watch, and you'll see why you can never win.
Oh, his apprentice did it? Well, his apprentice is kind of an asshole, too. With a grin on his face, he twists the blade inside Ulrich. Defying all possibility, the gear on the base starts to spin. Soon after, everything is engulfed in a blinding light.
Please, run.
We hail Ulrich's final words as the light subsides. When everything is back to normal, he's completely gone. No blood, no body, just Sylvie standing there with pride.
What? What did you do?
I put his spirit to good use. Like I planned to do with your little friend.
Yeah, the sword's special. He points behind us, and we turn to look. The scattered pieces of armor on the ground start to move. They assemble, forming bodies that move in a slow, stiff fashion. Well, obviously they were empty before, they may as well just reassemble. But after a few moments, the movements become more natural. It isn't much longer until an army of automatons block our path. There was nowhere to go. Sylvie blocked the other side.
You're using their spirits to power that armor. Does that mean we've been fighting our own?
Now you finally understand. The force of life itself bends to the triumvirate. There's no way that you could hope to stop us.
He takes slow steps towards me, holding out his blade. I finally understood why it was so important to the triumvirate. They could command an army of spirits simply by possessing it.
As soon as I harvest the Seer's soul, I'll leave. Valessa, if you behave, I might let you go. Visit the rebels. Tell them what's coming.
I like the Sephiroth music we got going. This is it. If he attacked me, the vision would end. I was armed with all the information I needed to counter this attack. The true purpose, the major players, and even the nature of this blade. He was so certain of his victory, he had no idea. I took a step forward, embracing what was to come. When this future came from Valinor, we would be ready. He thrust the blade inside of me with little effort. Why don't we at least try to fight? We did have a weapon. I mean, I know it's a vision, but he's kind of an asshole, so let's try to at least hit him. Scratch his face or something first? I don't know. The pain is so intense, but I'm overcome with hope. As my vision fades, I find the strength to say one final thing. It's over, Sylvie. You've already lost. There we go. I mean, he's just a vision, but yeah, fuck you. I'm going to leave until you arrive at a game that the writing doesn't make me want to gouge out my eyes. Have fun. Wow, yep, that's a bit of a statement. My eyes shoot open. I instinctively clutch my gut. I'm actually gonna save right here. Because we did hit the timer after all. Yeah, we have, Purity % 0, corruption % 0, morale % 0, books read 1. Name? Question mark. Huh. Seems like there's a bit of stats to this then, too. But I'm going to call it there. Because we've ended the vision. That seems like a good stopping point. Winds of Change. Well, please finish that game soon. I think that people are a little bit divided on this game in the chat. Would you guys like to know my opinions? Of course you would. It's a Howler after all. So, I like the music a lot. That's probably the strongest point here, I would say, is the music. Very good. The writing is hard to describe. Some of you guys love this game, want me to play it more. And then we got people like Imp that literally just said that this game's writing makes him want to gouge his eyes out. I think that that's a bit extreme. But I did notice little points in the dialogue where I felt things were a little stilted and tropey. The voice acting was pretty solid. I noticed a few little flubs, but with the sheer amount of voice acting here, it's very solid. So the voice actors are fine. The script itself is a little bit cardboardy, a little bit stiff. It's okay. I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but the game did start by dumping a bunch of exposition on me at the beginning, throwing out words like the Triumvirate and other things and like all these things. I kind of don't like it when a game dumps a bunch of heavy words on you without a lot of explanation. Now, granted, during that course of this 1 hour of gameplay, it did explain it quite a bit, so that's not so bad. Let's get to the art. The background art's lovely. The character art is technically well drawn, but it does kind of bother me a little bit that everybody is the same species for the most part, except for a dragon guy. And I don't mind the lack of species variety by itself, but it kind of enunciates a problem with the art style, and that is that a lot of the characters kind of have the same body type, kind of the same look to them. Honestly, now that I'm on the main menu, how many of you guys can visualize any of the characters we interacted with? I can kind of remember a few details for a few of them, or most of them even, but a lot of them don't really stand out in my mind. Like, I'm comparing this to the other visual novels I played on Howler for an Hour, and the characters that stood out, like Mantis guy from A Nightmare Strip, or Nightmare looked like a cute Renamon thing, and, the two cats that came from another world. Like, I remember those characters, but these characters, they feel a little more generic to me, a little more stiff. Again, another thing that feels stiff. Charm, from how it looks, you only finished the intro arc. Yes, and this is Howler for an Hour on Golf. I played it for an hour and, 20 minutes? 10 minutes, somewhere in there? So I actually played over time. And this is a first impression show, so I'm giving you my first impressions. The game does seem to have a pretty good lore story going on. This probably could go somewhere pretty interesting. And it seems like there's a few mechanics for like a morale and perhaps alignment system there. So that could be interesting, multiple choices. So there does seem to be some decent content here as well. And again, I think it's relatively good. But it's not remarkably good. It's kind of like, I think I'd put this, if I had to give this a rate out of 10, I would probably give this like 7. I think I'd give it a 7. Yeah, that seems about right. It's like, yeah, it's definitely on the positive tier. And there's definitely some strong elements that I give the music a 9 out of 10. For instance, but if I were to break down the elements, but it's not like exceptional. It's like, this is pretty good. But compared to the other visual novel efforts I've seen on this Howler, on my Howler show, I just don't know. I don't feel as much personality from this one as I do the others. It doesn't help that there's a few tropes. Oh no, the village got burned down. Oh no, there's an evil guy that literally goes, "Wahaha!" Basically. It's like, the tropes are alright, but without combining a lot of extra creativity and flow with the writing, and like I said, the frame's kind of stilted here and there, it kind of hurts it. Yeah, it's a good game, just maybe not the best visual novel I played out of the limited repertoire I played. I've seen some real standout ones. This is not one, it's just good. It's a good game, just not a standout game.